If you clicked on this video, then you're probably someone who is ambitious, who has big dreams and goals in your mind, but often find yourselves either procrastinating or just ending back up at the same place that you started. And you wonder why. And there's a reason for that. And the reason is because you are simply just thinking about the things that you want to achieve. And by doing that, you're not actually putting through the actions to getting there. The behaviors and the actions and the daily habits are the things that will lead you to that ultimate success. Not just the fact that you're thinking and you're daydreaming about all the good things that you could achieve, because doing that is kind of like almost tricking your brain to think, okay, maybe I'm actually just doing it. I'm just thinking about it. Then maybe it'll just happen. But the truth is, it really doesn't work like that. And so instead of just really merely just thinking about what you want to actually accomplish, you need to build a system where you're able to automate your decisions, your habits, your everyday actions, because those things are what dictate whether you are improving every single day or you're getting worse every single day. Because if you just get 1% better, think about this. If you just get 1% better, a little bit better every single day, by the end of the year, you will be 37 times better than you were when you first started. And the same thing goes if you were to get 1% worse every single day. Having this clear system in mind and actually building one. And so having this clear system where you have and so having a clear system where you can build off of and something that will tell you that you're on track and just something that you can follow is going to be a lot more concrete and something you can actually execute rather than just merely thinking about all of these things and not actually putting in the work to get there. Because a lot of people, they put themselves in this trap of thinking that I'm going to do this and thinking I'll do this tomorrow. But in reality, because it's uncomfortable taking that first step, and because your brain just hates to have hard challenges, your brain likes to stay in comfort. It doesn't like to go out of its comfort zone because then it would have to challenge itself. And your brain likes to stay in a place where it doesn't have to challenge itself. And so, putting yourself in that comfort zone is also just the same as thinking about your dreams and your ambitions. Thinking about it is easy. Anyone can think about it. It doesn't take much. It's comfortable for you and your brain. But taking those actions, building the system, it's harder. It's harder to do because it requires habits and actions and behaviors you have to do every single day, consistently over time. And doing so is definitely challenging, but one way to also think about it is consistency over perfection always. You don't have to be perfect every single time, but you do want to be always there. You want to be consistent in the sense that even if you don't feel like it, you'll show up. You'll show up to whatever it is that you're doing because you know it is for you and for yourself and for that goal that you have in the back of your mind. And so pushing and being consistent, something that's often very hard to do, but if you think about it, how if you just get 1% better every single day, that 1% better compounds every single day. It's just very, very small, but these very small actions, they can compound over time to create very big dramatic effects in your life. And so one example of building a system for me, for example, if I want to conduct breakthrough research, if I want to come up with like brand new research, right, in a field of science, for example, then that would involve weekly mentor check ins. That would involve having to do active exploration into my field of literature, reading scientific journals, writing scientific ways of scientific journal articles, all that stuff, and conducting lab studies, those things done on a consistent basis can get me there, right? And another example would be like fitness. If you want to be more fit, if you want to be better in overall fitness, right, you can achieve that by first meal prepping, by having this organized system of weekly workouts. This is what I'm going to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and so on. And you want to prioritize not the outcome, but showing up for the system, right? So you want to prioritize not just like, okay, did I reach my goal yet? You don't want to ask yourself that. Instead, you want to say to yourself, did I go through my system today? Did I improve a little bit from yesterday? Right? So those things, they don't allow you to focus directly on the goal, because doing that is going to be a very tiring journey. You're not going to get to your goal like very fast, right? That's not something that's realistic enough. Oftentimes the consistency only pays off if you do it for long enough, and most people don't do it for long enough because it's hard and most people quit, right? But if you just fall in love with the process of what you're doing, if you fall in love with executing the system that you built, the system that you built to help you, right, with achieving your goal, everything you do revolving around that, if you just fall in love with the process of doing that, it'll be so much easier to actually achieve what you want to achieve, because you're not motivated solely by the end result. You're actually motivated by doing the things that you do every single day. And before you know it, you will get there. It does take time. It does take a lot of consistency and effort. And some days you will not feel like doing what it is you have to do. But that is the point of a system, is to have this clear, pure and written out, or something that's more concrete for you to follow. And that, in a sense, makes it easier for you to execute those daily actions that compounds over time. And so, if you just fall in love with the process of it, if you choose to be consistent over being perfect, if you choose to go out of your comfort zone to not only merely think about the things that you want to accomplish, but actually go the extra mile and to do the actions consistently, build these behaviors and these habits that will revolve around your end goal, eventually your hard work will pay off. And in doing so, what you eventually thought of as, oh, it's impossible, or oh, it's going to take too long, in the end, you're going to have this realization that maybe the journey wasn't as bad as I thought. But not even just that, you're going to be a new you. You're going to have figured out new things about yourself, how to approach things. You're going to have so much of a stronger mind because you're able to overcome the boringness, right, of consistency, having to show up on a daily basis, executing the system that may not be so interesting to you, but if you just keep on with it, if you understand this concept of how your tiny little actions every single day will compound over time to achieve that level of success, then you will have gained much more knowledge and much more understanding of who you are as a person yourself and how you can navigate this world, right? And that just is so much more valuable than the goal that you achieve in the end, right? Because you can continue to apply these principles and these behaviors and habits that you build throughout this journey to all other areas of your life and the future goals as well. So, truly, achieving the success not only is going to require you to have a clear idea and goal of where you want to achieve, but you actually have to go the extra mile to build that system, right, that will automate the actions that you do. And once you go ahead and build that system, stay consistent with it and fall in love with the process, and trust me, you will get there.